roads that we have money to maintain, and I am anticipating a lot of national infrastructure money to coming in to the state, and I'd like to see a lot of that earmarked for roads and bridges. I was with Mike and we met up at the governor's announcement for the paving schedule for 2022, and talking to those guys, they are so understaffed and they work so hard, and you hear the pay structure, what they're getting paid, and the other opportunities we have there. So I think it would be really good to address their pay issues so that we can recruit and maintain workers for the roads. And then we also had some neat ideas shared with us about taking tires and cutting the sidewalls off and filling them with gravel and using those. So I think there's some new innovative ideas out there that we could start looking into. I also think it's important that we have accountability with, maintaining the roads, like we were talking about with you spot something, you take a picture of it and let them know that, that there's accountability and more efficiency with how the roads are maintained.
Thank you, Debbie.
I think with this, number one, accountability. We need to know where the money's going. The money's obviously there. The state legislature's done their job with that. Obviously, we just need to make sure all the money's accounted for and we know where it's going. Debbie brought up the workers' pay. I was talking to someone about this a while ago. The state road CDL drivers, they're paid $14, $15, $16 an hour. Why would anybody want to work here when you can go 20 minutes up the road to Waynesburg or Carmichael's or Uniontown and start out at $21, $22? That's something that we got to address. If we can keep the workers here, then we're going to see great improvements to our roads.
Drew, we'll stay with you for our second question. What can be done to attract new high-paying jobs to West Virginia and Monongalia County?
I think with this, Monongalia County and Morgantown itself, we've got Bass Pro Shops, Menards, we're getting there. We need to keep attracting more. West Virginia needs more jobs, and I said in my opening statement, keeping people here. And I think that starts with education. If we have a better education, keeping people educated, incentive programs for big businesses, companies, anything that wants to come here, tax break, incentives to keep companies here and pay them a good wage. More business, the better here, of course. So,
it's a good question. As a realtor, I often am asked by different organizations to provide tours of the Morgantown area to people that are looking to relocate here. Some of the first questions I get, obviously, I'm driving on the roads, so people ask me about the roads. They ask me about the education system for their kids, and they ask me about broadband internet, particularly when we get out into some of the outlying areas in Morgantown and even some of the hilly areas closer to Preston County in my district. You don't get cell service. And these are the same things that potential investors look at when they're looking to relocate their companies. We've got so much going on for us here. We have natural beauty like nobody's business. But a lot of those areas, you don't get broadband. So, that's got to be fixed. And the people are friendly. And we are within, a day's drive of, 60% of the United States population. We have rivers, we have rails, we have everything going, but we need to fix those three things: roads, education, and broadband.
I just grabbed the mic there for a second. If Mr. Sikora and Mr. Herzog will come up and get ready to be on deck for the next battery of questions. Debbie, we're on the third question, and we'll start with you. If elected, you'll be able to represent a single district. What do you see as the priorities of that district?
Well, running for office, I've been out just talking to people and knocking on doors, visiting with my neighbors, and one of the questions I always ask are, what is important to you? And surprise, surprise, it's the same things I just mentioned. Roads are a big one, education and broadband. And I think of those three, probably in my particular district, education is the issue that is the most important.
I think with this, it's definitely the roads. And like I said before, holding accountability and everything like that. Another thing that I'd like to see is tourism with Cheat Lake. Since Governor Justice took office, he's been promoting tourism vastly. I think Cheat Lake, they need to have more lake-driven activities, lake-driven businesses. I would like to see a public beach there. If you go 45 minutes up the road to Deep Creek, you see the state park that they have there has a public beach there. I think that would be great for tourism, people wanting to see what West Virginia is about. The southern part of the state already has great tourism with the New River Gorge, Summersville Lake, Stonewall Jackson, and I think our district needs to come up with that, and I think it could be a great money investment.
Great, thank you, Drew. Thank you, Debbie. Ladies and gentlemen, Debbie Warner and Drew Talbot, those are your candidates in House District 82. There's also candidate Cindy Fritsch. She was unable to join us today, but we welcome and we thank Debbie and Drew for joining us and spending some time. You're welcome to stay. Speak with the audience at the conclusion of our moderated forum if you're available. I know Debbie has another commitment and has asked that if she can go on to her next stop, but we'll forgive you, I think. I try not to speak for everybody, but on behalf of the committee, we'll forgive you. You guys, if you'd like to go ahead and step away. Again, if you're watching via